I posted a couple of videos this morning from the Galactic Federation. The information is really good, resonates with me 100%. But I understand that some people have problems with the language. The idea that we are directed, manipulated by the Galactic Federation is not palatable for a lot of humans, right? We don't like the idea that there are some higher dimensional beings that manipulate and control our life. So when we hear these videos, these messages, within the context of the Galactic Federation doing this and saying that and blah, 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 you might say, well, how is that different than listening to God, before, for those of us who were Christians? Let me try and put it into perspective in the way I perceive and experience it within my psyche. If you have listened to me for any length of time, you know that there is no greater rebel as the renegade when it comes to standing up for soul sovereignty and autonomy, right? We don't want any ascended masters or lords or gods ruling our life. I get it, and I will 100% support you. But maybe I can put it to you a little bit different. Because most of us are only aware of a third dimensional reality. In this human avatar, we think we're humans and we like it that way. We don't want any higher dimensional beings ruling over us. But the reality is, even though you personally might not experience it yet, the reality is that you are a multidimensional being that only has a limited bandwidth of recognition, remembrance, and perception, right? But that doesn't mean that you are much more than your human form. So maybe if I put it in different terms, I'll use myself as an example, but this applies to everyone. Rather than thinking of yourself strictly as a human being, a three-dimensional human being, try to think of yourself as technology, God technology, divine technology, galactic technology. Because before you took on the form and essence and sentience of a human, you are galactic technology. You are frequency, vibration, and energy that hasn't always been in this flesh form, right? So there's an aspect of you that is much greater than your limited three-dimensional perception and identification. So I, for example, I know that I am a 12-dimensional, 15-dimensional, as many dimensions as there are. I am an aspect of all of that. That's why I say I am God. Of course, in the human manifestation, the God technology is limited and compacted into a three-dimensional form and version model, right? So I am a compacted human being while at the same time unlimited God technology, right? So the more your vibration and frequency and consciousness raises, the more access to your other dimensional remembering you will have. So how do I reconcile the fact that the galactic entities, the Galactic Federation, higher dimensional versions of myself, are directing, transmitting energies and communications to my lower human self. How do I reconcile that and still maintain my soul autonomy and not become ruled by higher dimensional beings? I think of it in terms of a deep sea exploration, right? You can take it into the human realm. Let's say there's a deep sea exploration that needs to be conducted, and you're going to be put into the pressurized bell that is going to be let down to the bottom of the ocean, right? So you have your team, you have your galactic team that's on the surface of the earth, while you, being part of the same team, are in the sinker bell that is going to the bottom of the ocean, right? You're going to have communications, and you're going to have a degree of dependence on those up on the surface that are lowering your diving bell into the depth of the ocean. If you are taking instructions, and if you are dependent, not if, but you are dependent on the surface team to control and direct your subsurface mission. So you're going to have to communicate with the ground level team and work with them together while you are down in your deep sea capsule, doing what you're doing down there. So it's the same way with us here on Earth. As a human being, we are technically in the deep sea capsule that was lowered into this density, into this ocean of really dense consciousness, while the ground level, the Galactic Federation, that's the team that works with us, that we communicate with. The team in the galactic realm, or the team on the Earth's surface, they're not better, they're not greater, they're not our masters, they are our teammates, and we communicate with them at different dimensional levels to conduct an Earth experiment. And the Earth experiment is how much of this galactic or divine consciousness can we combine within the human experience, within the human vessel, to elevate and evolve the human form, which without higher consciousness basically is an instinctual, animal-based consciousness. You can see that, you've seen it in the news. Humans, there are many humans out there that behave like animals, worse than animals, because their consciousness is so low. So the mission, the galactic mission, is to bring the consciousness of humans, of animal-based instinctual humans, and raise it to be a more civilized society. That's really the teamwork between the galactics and the humans. And I understand the reservation. Like I said, all that galactic and starseed and lightworker talk feels foreign to human ears. And I guess that's where people like myself come in, to translate this into a language that is more easily understood among humans, right? So I hope this helps, because I would hate for people to miss out on the message, because their human ears are not attuned to all this boo talk about galactics and galactic federation and aliens and starseeds, right? That is other dimensional stuff that many of us in our human suit don't have receptors for. So hopefully me explaining it like this has helped you.